Galaxy S4 is the most popular member of the 5-inch 1080p Android royalty, and it improves on just about every specification of its predecessor. The smartphone ships in a retail box with pretty standard contents. You get an AC adapter, micro USB cable, and a headset. The Galaxy S4 can work with a number of additional interesting accessories, but those you will have to buy separately. The screen has grown to 5 inches, and the Adobe RGB screen setting provides you with much more accurate colors, solving the unrealistic colors issue of the AMOLED displays of old. With the high pixel density that stems from the 1080p resolution and Super AMOLED's natural advantages, the Samsung Galaxy S4 packs what is arguably one of the best displays on the market right now. Despite the larger screen, the Galaxy S4 has virtually the same footprint as the Galaxy S3, and it's slimmer too. The size of the new Samsung flagship also compares favorably to that of the HTC One, even though the HTC smartphone packs a smaller 4.7-inch screen. The plastic used for the Galaxy S4 has a hyperglaze finish similar to that of the Galaxy S3, but with a new, more sophisticated texture that changes depending on the angle you are looking at it and the available light. It's not the most attractive smartphone around, but it's quite practical as it helps keep the weight in check while allowing Samsung to keep the user-replaceable battery and expandable storage. The bezel around the screen has gotten narrower, but there's still enough room for the 2-megapixel front-facing camera and a special IR sensor, both of which are important for features like dual shot and air gestures. The back of the Galaxy S4 features a slightly protruding 13-megapixel camera and LED flash. The top of the phone houses an IR emitter, which can be used to control TVs, AV receivers, air conditioners, and other appliances around your home. The Samsung Galaxy S4 launches with Android 4.22 Jelly Bean, the latest publicly available version of the Google platform, and it packs the latest batch of exclusive software from Samsung. That includes the TouchWiz interface, which enriched the Android experience not only with major features like multi-window, but also a variety of tweaks and improvements. It starts off with the lock screen. It has widgets, a new feature in Android 4.2, and beautiful photos from TripAdvisor, which change automatically. The shortcuts on the bottom of the screen are disabled by default. The special Favorite Apps widget on the right has taken their place. You can re-enable them and switch the right widget to the camera as the default Android behavior. The home screen is virtually unchanged, save for a few widgets. Home screen panes can be managed with the usual pinch gesture, and you can have anywhere between 1 and 7 of them. One small change we noticed shows up when adding shortcuts or widgets to the home screen. Small thumbnails of all home screen panes show up at the bottom, complete with the silhouettes of the widgets on them. This makes finding an empty spot for the new widget so much easier. The notification area has been tweaked too. The usual arrangement of toggles, screen brightness slider, and notifications is still in place, but you can view all toggles at once, similar to Android 4.2. To access the full list of toggles, you need to either push the dedicated button when you have opened the notification area already, or simply perform a 2-finger swipe. You can rearrange the toggles, and the top row is always visible. The screen brightness slider can be hidden to save space too. The Samsung Galaxy S4 borrows a couple of features from the Note 2. One of them is multi-window multitasking, which can be enabled by long pressing the back key. It allows for 2 supported apps to run side by side on the screen. Another is Air View. Basically, it turns your finger into an S Pen. You can hover your finger over an item on the screen to view more info, for example, the text of an SMS, the calendar appointment text, photos in a folder, and so on. Air gestures are a completely new thing. In a Kinect-like twist, the Galaxy S4 can be controlled by waving your hand some distance in front of it. It can be used for scrolling, changing active tabs, skipping songs, and answering calls. The Smart Screen feature grew two new options, Smart Scroll and Smart Pause. The first is an accelerometer-based scroll that prevents accidental scrolling by disabling itself when you're not looking at the screen. The second option, perhaps the more useful one, automatically pauses video playback when you look away from the screen and resumes when you look back. The camera interface has been reworked and is now based on the Samsung Galaxy camera. The interface is greatly simplified and hides most of the features in the mode carousel, which offers helpful images and descriptions to help out new users. There are plenty of interesting features, but the ones to note are the dual shot mode and 360 photo, also known as photosphere. We have the Snapdragon 600 base version of the Samsung Galaxy S4 here, which is the version many countries will get. Samsung went with a higher clock speed, making the S4 the fastest phone we've tested. In theory, the Exynos 5 Octa chipset should offer even better performance, but we've yet to see about that.